Okay, so it's recording. Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're listening in from. Today, I have someone amazing to introduce you to the Continental Conversations, and I have the lovely Leslie Okoye from Cookie Skin. Hi, she's the CEO of Cookie Skin, and she's here with me today to talk about what she does in the industry and how she has come to work with Cookie Skin, and of course a little bit more about herself. So I do all hope that you enjoy this Continental Conversation with Leslie today. Leslie, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Right,
You
so
can hear me. Yes, what did you say? Sorry.
I was saying, what's the first question?
Oh, your first question is, tell us a bit about yourself, your brand, Cookie Skin, and your purpose in the skincare industry.
So my name is Leslie Okoye, and I kind of call myself the Melanin Skincare Guru. I started Cookie Skin about 7-8 years ago. And basically, Cookie Skin is the brown skincare brand that focuses on doing skincare the right way, mostly focusing on skin of color, men and women skin of color. And the reason I chose to focus on skin of color is because there hasn't been any skincare solutions that really does the job of what an African woman is looking for. We're looking for skin that's even, skin that looks good, healthy, and fresh, and of course, safe products, things that don't make us age faster than we should age, and either burn our skin and cause hyperpigmentation. Hyperpigmentation has been and is the bane of skin of color, brown skin, black skin, light brown skin. So hyperpigmentation is to Black people what wrinkles is to Caucasians. And no skincare brand really addresses this issue. And the reason I went into this space is to address the issue of hyperpigmentation and treat melanin skin, but also because there was a gap. The gap being that women of color have never learned how to take care of their skin the right way. So Cookie Skin is here to teach men and women of color the right way to take care of their skin so that they get fresh, healthy, youthful, glowing skin all through their lives and age gracefully. So that's my
Beautiful.
mission.
It's a good mission, really good mission. So I will come back to the hyperpigmentation because that's a very important topic there. But you were also involved in the Netflix documentary Skin, which we all watched, and we loved seeing you in that. How did you get this wonderful opportunity to become part of the most talked show or movie in regards to skin?
Funny, the opportunity just fell in my lap, as the word is opportunity, but I think because I am very vocal about brown skincare, melanin skincare, and teaching people the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. Over the years, I have become the go-to person for celebrities and regular citizens of Nigeria and Africa. Actually, I do have a lot of clients from around the world who hear about me word of mouth or maybe through my social media, and they contact me saying, I've had this issue, I've never been able to solve it. I hear that you're the person to go to. What can I do? So with that, I believe that's why the producers of Skin, the documentary, came to me, and they say, they introduced me saying, and now we're about to visit Leslie Okoye that touts herself as the skincare guru. I am a melanin skincare guru because there are a lot of things that even dermatologists don't know, and I find that I'm having to correct the same issues and teach people what they're doing wrong and steer them in the direction of what they should be doing right. So being in that documentary, I was interviewed for about 30 minutes, and I think everything was chopped down into 2 or 3 minutes. But
Okay.
I'm glad it wasn't, to be honest. I mean, I do have to be honest. I wasn't impressed with the documentary. I'm glad it started the conversation. But then it moved into something else, into colorism, which to me didn't make sense. We have millions and millions, billions of men and women of color, Indian, Asian, African, mixed race, people dealing with an issue. And for me, the real reason I went into it and doing it the right way, not just that I knew it, but it compelled me to, is because I'm sure you've dealt with some skin issues that make you depressed, some skin issues that just make you feel like, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to do anything. If there is a problem, any kind of problem that plagues a human being, so if, for example, you have something that is weighing on you and it's weighing you down, as a woman of color, you're not even thinking about anything else. You don't even have to be a woman of color. The point is, if there's a problem that stares you in the face 24/7, you're always going to be focusing on that problem and giving your time and attention to the problem rather than doing other things in your life that matter. So I find that I was spending a lot of time trying to deal with hyperpigmentation. Other women are spending a lot of time trying to fix their skin, and it takes their mind away from trying to build an empire, trying to start a business, trying to focus on your children and teach them and spend time with them. Instead, you're booking appointment after appointment to spas, and you're probably doing the wrong kind of treatments, or you're buying makeup, or you're getting depressed over somebody who's wearing better makeup than you and you're judging them. So you build a whole bunch of negative habits through this one distraction that is your skin that you haven't been able to understand and get a hold of. So it might sound very frivolous to people who don't understand it, but the skin is the largest organ. And it's the largest organ on the exterior. If you don't have it under control, you are going to not live a full life because you're going to be putting your focus on something else. So I found that the real mistake is African women who have the spending power to spend money and buy creams have learned how to take care of their skin the wrong way. We learned watching advertisements and looking at magazines and hearing things like exfoliation and scrubs and microdermabrasion and chemical peels and retin-A, and we're just doing whatever we've heard, not knowing that it's not the same for our skin simply for the fact that we have melanin. And if you don't understand the factor and the role that being dark skin or a woman of color who has melanin plays in your skin, you're going to run into a whole lot of trouble. So this is why I'm here.
Amazing. That's such an interesting topic. And I like what you said about doing it the right way, understanding your skin.
That was just I was hoping that they were going to find out a lot of things about skincare and brown skin, and I didn't see any of that. And I just I'm like, oh wow,
okay. Well, that might lead to something, you never know. But did the involvement in skin, the movie, the documentary there, did it increase at least the brand awareness, in your country, Nigeria, where you're based? Yeah.
It did. It increased the brand awareness worldwide, actually. I got calls from many people. People were finding me on LinkedIn. And the main thing I heard from everybody was, I have never spoken to anybody who understands the mechanism of how the skin is working, who understands the problem. Nobody has explained it to me. Everybody just says, use this, use that, rub this, rub that, do that. And this includes dermatologists and doctors. But nobody had been able to explain why it's happening and what you should look for. You know how you take medication? I will say malaria, because because we're in Africa, right? Have malaria, and they tell you to take this 3 times a day for 7 days. With African skincare, it is very important to know when to start, when to stop, and what dosage you're using. So are you taking 250 milligrams of something or 500 milligrams of something? And it really is important because it's different for every skin color. The color actually matters to the potency of what products you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know this, you keep running around trying different brands and calling different brand names, and then you're like, how come nothing is working for me? And it's simply because you don't understand the role that your color plays.
Okay. It's very interesting. The skin color matters in regards to how you deal with it and how you treat it on a day-to-day basis. You are also an educator, so and you own your own academy. Why have you pursued the education part of this, and how important is the education for skincare?
That's a good question. So I'm pursuing the education part because it goes hand in hand. You can't just, it's not just about making money. You know, I started it, like I said, to solve a problem. Mm-hmm. And you can't solve a problem if you're not aware of the problem. So the education part is important because the beginning of the solution is to understand the skin, understand the problem, and see the problem and be able to identify the problem before you can treat or prevent the problem. So my courses teach all women or any man or anybody that's interested in learning about their skin how to take care of their skin, how to prevent, and how to treat. Everything shouldn't be about treatment. Prevention is extremely important, you know. And with the formulation class, I had to go into that because
yes,
Nigerians and West Africans, for one, are damaging their skin at a very high rate from using what they call organic creams. Organic cream doesn't mean what it means in the Western country. It doesn't mean organic ingredients. It literally just means somebody who mixes things together. I think it's called aquatherapy or something like that. Mm-hmm. Basically, somebody who just mixes things together, like recipe, like you're making your own lotion potion, you put it in a jar and you sell it. So that's what we call organic here. But then, of course, consumers hear it and they like the word organic. They think it means it's not harsh. But then you have a lot of people with hyperpigmentation on their knuckles, really burnt skin, dry, just damage everywhere, left, right, and center. Like now, if you put 3 or 4 African girls together, at least one, in fact, 2 actually, 2 out of every 4 that I see has extremely damaged skin.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a huge number.
No longer happening at older ages. It's happening once they're in their 20s, meaning once they make a little money to spend on their skin, they start seeing damages.
Okay. Yeah, I did see someone once when I was in Nigeria, and she had just red burnt cheeks, and it was like an open sore. And I called her when she was a waitress, and I asked her what happened, and she said, well, I used these creams that was sold at my local spa salon, and they had made it, and they said that it would work for her, but then she had these burnt marks. It was such a pity. So obviously, you know, these are the type of things we want to avoid. So I think the formulation course is so important to educate in the right format and to certify as well. Yeah. Okay. And is there a huge how do you say, are there many people asking for this?
Yes, there are. So that's another thing. The demand to learn was high because also it's a way of making income. So it's a way of doing a side business and having something to do. So I felt, I mean, at first I wasn't going to teach it because I'm like, organic creams are bad, but I might as well teach them how to do it the right way. You're going to do it anyway, so you might as well just teach them how to do it the right way and hope that they continue in that direction.
So that's keeping you very busy, I can imagine.
Yes. very busy. I have class every Tuesdays.
Okay,
We
good.
teach soap and cream. So talking about soaps is a total different part, but I realized that the soaps that we are using, and it starts from how you even take a bath or a shower. So the method of the way you shower, plus the kind of soap, already begins damage or it begins to take care of your skin. And a good 70% of women, let me say 60% of women, African women, are doing a lot of damage to their skin, starting by how they take a shower. It's the wrong soap, it's the wrong method, and you have damage. So in the class, you learn how to make your own soap and your own
And look
cream.
after the skin's pH as well at the same time.
Exactly.
Good. That's a really important thing to discuss and to learn, you know, since there's so many people who need that. So what about, you know, what COVID-19 has changed everything about how much your business life, you know, how has that changed for you
It
with the
has
pandemic?
changed. It has definitely changed. I mean, revenue is probably 60% instead of 100%.
Okay.
However, it's allowed me and given me more time to prepare the business for the next 10 years in terms of where I believe the business is going and skincare as well is going, the way people interact with skincare, buy skincare, and what they need. It's given me time to really think, to prepare so that we can give people what they want and what they need and help them in the best way.
Yeah. And do you see that going in a positive way as we educate more people and you can then bring the skincare to full in 10 years? Do you see that happening fast enough?
Yeah, so it's the same thing with Black hair care, you know.
Yes.
That are talking about curly hair, and they told us about 4C, 4A, 4B, how to care for your hair, minimalist style, don't comb when it's, you know, you co-washing. So all those things we learned about Black hair. Some people are learning, some people are not learning, but the information is there. You have to educate people. And the more people know, it also, what's the word? It affects how they spend and what they choose to buy. So if you're somebody who's interested in taking care of your hair, for example, I probably saved myself a whole lot of money from wigs because I realized that if I keep wearing wigs, because I'm somebody who's not patient, I don't know how to do it. One, two, I have a weak hairline. You know, so if I kept wearing that, I would have no hairline by the time I'm like 50 years old or something like that. Like, why not just do a better protective hairstyle? You know, words are kind of new to some people, and some people are now used to it. Before, I never knew what a protective hairstyle was.
So we need to use more of those words as well in the beauty industry, protective hairstyle, and, you know, encourage them to also think long term. You know, what damage are you causing yourself if you keep on rather than preventing? I like that. I think that was a good way.
Exactly. So in time, it would be the same thing with melanin skincare, brown skincare, whichever term we choose to choose. In time, people will catch on.
So we're halfway almost into the year. How do you see things changing or happening differently this year for your brand and education facility?
I think more awareness and more clients. As you know, the vaccine has been, people have started taking the vaccine. Lots of people I know have taken the vaccine. Things are looking better now with COVID in terms of prevention and cure. The death rate is going down. So I think people are ready and willing to live their lives, you know, because as you said, already halfway into it. So I'm expecting to have more clients, more students as well. So that's what I'm also preparing the business to receive that amount of people. So I am hopeful.
So more students, more clients. I definitely would love to see more students as well come to you, Leslie, so that they can learn. And I think it's a good time right now to learn, and I think maybe more companies should also think about, doing pro bono kind of education so that, the students get educated while they have the time on their hands, because once, everything opens up again, then it's going to be super busy.
Yes.
So maybe make sort of certain arrangements with these students or therapists, depending on if that is possible, of course. You don't want people running away and not paying back what you've invested in them. But these are things that maybe companies can think about. And I think that you're right about more students coming to play now, coming to get their certifications, while making sure that as soon as the doors open fully, they're geared and ready for action. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
it's, and
yeah.
even if it's free classes, just to introduce the students as to what's out there, companies should definitely create more awareness. So that's what I'm going to start doing, is
Mhm.
more advertisements, more awareness out there, so that people know that, okay, this class is available and this is how it's going to benefit you.
Exactly. So Leslie, so you recently joined SWAA as a board director, fellow colleague of mine, I must say. It is a volunteer position. Why did you choose SWAA?
Okay, that's a very good question, because I've been asked to join a few in the beauty esthetician or spa. Well, I chose SWA because I like the mission and the direction in which it's going, which is basically, it's an organization that aims to help African women or people in the diaspora in terms of beauty and wellness. So that's something that I align with. It's something that I want to do and I encourage. I feel that the beauty industry in Africa is not tapped into yet. And anybody trying to get into it needs all the support that they can get, because it's a hard place to navigate. So even for anybody who might be watching this right now, becoming a member of SWA is extremely important, because you guys give all the support that a small business might need, a student might need, an esthetician, or anybody looking for not just information, because information is out there, but support as to how to grow in the industry and how to maintain in the industry. I think that's it's extremely important. So yeah, I was happy to be a part of it.
We're very happy to have you, Leslie. Very, very happy. And definitely, we hope that we can also probably do some introductory courses by Cookie Skin Academy on SWA, so that members can also get introduced to it and can engage and start at least their learning from somewhere. Exactly. So that would be great. So bringing you back to your story, your success story is inspirational, to say the least. What inspired you the most in your journey?
Not sure how to answer that question. I would say, what has inspired me the most? The hard times. The hard times always inspire me. So whenever something difficult happens, it pushes me to do what I have already thought of, but got distracted or didn't focus on. So for example, when I started, in business, you always have highs and lows in terms of being the CEO, the founder of a business. You need to stay motivated. Some things motivate you, some things don't motivate you. So there's nothing like falling down to, make you remember that you have to stand up, especially knowing that everybody's relying on you, right? You can't just quit. So I had the hard times always turned me into the direction that I know I should turn into, but I'm procrastinating because I'm comfortable. So it pushes me out of my comfort zone, because I need an extra edge. I need to move. I need to do something. So I had that about 3 years ago when I started the academy. I had it on my mind I knew this was something I needed to do because people need to learn about this, right? But then it meant more responsibility for me. I didn't think I could divide and conquer my focus, from retail and focus on distribution and manufacturing to add this one. And then something happened, and I had no choice. I was literally left with no choice, and I was like, all right, I'll start this class, however big or small. And it started small and it's catching on. And so far, so good. It's been doing well. It pushed me, having the classes also pushed me to move to my new location.
Mm-hmm.
So my first location was just like a retail store. And to grow and to become bigger, to accommodate the two things, I had to think bigger. So then it pushed me to have frequent classes as opposed to having 4 classes a year. And the next difficulty was Corona. So as soon as I got this new place, invested all my money, Corona hit. But then I was forced to pivot again and put my first original class, which had nothing to do with formulation, I put that online so that I could reach more people and at least make some money during the Corona period. And then I had to think of, okay, what am I now going to do with this space? Formulation. So it helped me create the class. And then just think about digitalization. You always have to have technology with your business, because beyond Corona, how do you create more awareness? You have to reach people where they are, and everybody's now on their phone. Everybody's on their phone. So you have to be thinking of ways to stay in business and ways to evolve. So yeah.
Well, that's very interesting, and I hope our listeners are also intrigued, because I do believe once you're too comfortable, you just get lazy and you don't think what's coming around the corner. So I think moving and being prepared.
Yeah.
You don't innovate either, exactly. So it's all about innovation and thinking new thoughts, new ways of how to help and how to develop yourself and your company and employees, of course. So that is also, I presume, you've created so many avenues also to get people into jobs, which is so important. Okay, let me just see if you're still there. Are you still there? Okay, there you are. Great. So my next question is, what is the experience in your skincare journey that you can share with young entrepreneurs that are, lessons learned, and what experiences do you think have been the most helpful for your growth and stature in the skincare industry and market? That's a question that we wanted to ask today.
Wow.
I know.
First thing is patience.
Okay.
First thing is patience. Whether you're an entrepreneur or a consumer, you must be patient in skincare. It is not an overnight result. And of course, you must understand your skin. It's like you can't get into a car, even if you get a brand new car today, Rolls Royce. You don't just start driving the car without knowing how to drive and having your driver's license. So there are steps to things. If you miss a step thinking you know it all, you're going to fall flat on your face and you figure out that you don't know it all. And sometimes some mistakes are too costly. You may not be able to come back from it 100%. You might be walking with a half broken leg or something as opposed to walking properly. And your skin is on the exterior. So if you make a mistake, it could last forever.
Yeah.
You can't, there's a mistake people think you can scrape the skin off or exfoliate it off. You can't do that because the pigmentation is deep inside. It is part of your cells. That section that you've damaged, the more you keep trying to sort it out without seeking consultation or proper advice, the more you're damaging those cells deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And even if you think you've taken it off the first time, you find it always comes back, which is what people say, oh, it was working before and then it stopped working. Or I think my skin is difficult. Your skin is not the problem. It's just you don't know what you're doing. Ignorance is the problem. So that's why you have people that can give you expert advice.
Very, very well said. Very well said.
Very important. And ask for help. people don't ask for help in business and even personally. Ask for help. You don't know it all. And listen, learn to listen. If somebody's trying to help you, listen. So I learn a lot from my customers when they always say customer is king. If you're in the business of selling, whether it's B2B or B2C, you have to listen to what your customers are saying because they're the ones trusting you and giving you their money. So every complaint matters, and every complaint is important. If you don't like complaints, if you don't like solving problems, you shouldn't be in business.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we're here to serve, and you should enjoy what you're doing. And as you know, Leslie, due to COVID, there's been a lot of therapists either misplaced out of their jobs and now going into entrepreneurial, innovations and businesses. So I think this is very important for them to hear, to understand what it takes, what they need to consider in order to stay in that new field if they choose to go ahead with it. So thank you for sharing that. Patience is important in skincare. Okay, so in order to grow new generations for our industry, what values do you think the modern entrepreneur in the product manufacture of skincare needs to have?
What values?
Yes.
Well, honesty is important. Discipline and being honest with yourself. You have to know why you're going into business, what you're going into business for. And then you have to be disciplined in terms of doing what it takes. Skincare industry is not a new thing. Skincare has existed ever since, manufacturing skincare, selling skincare, making skincare, whether it's handmade or machine made, has been happening for years now. So there are books out there, you have the internet, you can study it, you can study retail, but you have to have the discipline for it. It's not something where you think, I'm just gonna put this together, it looks nice, and you're not going to study it. You have to study everything. If you're bringing out one product, it has to be studied for at least 6 months to see how it works. It's the same thing as patience. So you have to be honest, and if it doesn't work, you have to throw it out or make it better or try something else. You can't force something that isn't right on people.
Yes, so it's also about accountability for the product. Yes, it's about accountability for the products as well, making sure that the client can trust your product as well.
Exactly. So you have to have accountability, you have to be honest and transparent, especially in skincare now. Honesty and transparency are very important, and then discipline.
And discipline. Those are very important values to have, definitely. So when it comes to authentic skincare products from Africa, which are gaining traction in many markets overseas, name 3 things you think a good skincare brand needs to have to become, a recognized brand in the African market.
Well, standards, you have to meet international standards. So depending on where you want to sell, whether it's in Africa or outside, people now are looking for quality and safety, because of all the damage that's happening out there. People are really wanting to know that what you're using isn't going to damage their skin, so you need to meet certain standards, and there are standards out there. Like I said, you either have to Google it, study it, ask for it. If you join an organization like SWAA and Wellness Association of Africa, you send an email, maybe somebody will help you out and give you what those standards are. So there are specific requirements and requirements for products that are going to be applied on the skin. Majority of people don't know this. Majority of people in Africa making skincare don't know this and are not aware of this. So you have to do your research, meet standards. And another thing is, yeah, standards in manufacturing, standards in labeling, standards in, what's the word, consumer acceptance, like what is appealing to consumers. You have to know what appeals to them. Your product has to look appealing and be appealing and be easy to use, nothing complicated.
Nothing complicated, easy to use.
Easy to use. I think we're really moving into that whole maybe 3-4 step skincare as opposed to 10-step Korean skincare. So there will still be those people who don't mind doing 10 steps. If you're Korean and your standards, your traditional, you're used to doing 10 steps, that's fine, because that's what they grew up. But for us to have that imposed and impose that on ourselves, someone's like, oh, the 10-step process. So you wash your face, then you double cleanse, then you use your toner, then you use a wand, then you put this serum, and then that second serum, then you put you've already lost that client, confused that African client, and they're not going to be able to keep up with it. So with cookie skin, for example, our steps are usually on average of 4 steps. But it really depends on your skin. For your skin type, you have normal skin in terms of there's no damage on your skin. You just either have.
Oh, thank you. I tried.
You either have your standard, normal, oily, dry skin that you're born with, which is fine.
Okay.
So with that, you normally would just do 3 steps. You would wash, you would put you would nourish your skin with like an antioxidant. Then you put a moisturizer. That's 3 steps. People say, oh, what about sunscreen? Well, nowadays, anybody who's in a business knows that you're supposed to have multifunctional products. So for example, cookie skin, our day lotion is a sunscreen.
Automatically has,
exactly. So it has everything your skin needs, so that you're not doing 20 steps. So you just go after 3 steps. So,
and that's a very important factor actually with regards to sun rays, because you still can get through the window even if you're indoors, so you can still wear it. That's very important. Okay, and so what 2 positive aspects have come out of lockdown in your business? I mean, you mentioned earlier on it gave you time to prepare for the future, but what other aspects has that brought you?
Me personally, or the business?
So the business itself, your business.
Well, I'll just say innovation. Come up with some new ideas. I can show you. Well, you can't really see everything, but because I had time to think, I've created manuals that is basically part of the Cookie Skin Bible. So we went through all our customers and their reviews, because we constantly call them, finding out if there are any complaints, if there are any positive reviews, and what they bought. We keep track of everyone, what they bought before. So based on our findings and what people have been using out of everything we have, I decided to make things easier for customers and just create sets. So we have depending on the results they want to see. So people with dry skin who say, my skin is dry, my skin is rough, we have the soft and smooth set. So all the products need that from Morning and Night is in there. Then people who have dull skin, they're like, I'm not necessarily trying to get lighter, but my skin just seems dull. We have the glass skin sets.
Okay.
Then people who have skin damage and maybe hyperpigmentation, we have a set called Flawless Skin Set. So we've just made the work easier so that you don't really have to think too much or guess. Let me put it that way. You don't have to guess. You just come, you know what results you're looking for, you know the issues with your skin, and based on that, you can just pick the right products for you.
Fantastic. That's a great innovation right there. And with obviously three.
And then it's just brought the team closer together. So
exactly. So it created a dynamic as well in-house.
So a lot of people on my staff, I think every staff member really is like understanding what we're trying to achieve and being very involved. So yeah.
Well, we look forward to hearing more about Cookie Skin Bible. Definitely, I do. So I look forward to that. That's very exciting to see what comes out of lockdown. Last but not least, so I have a final question. You are a successful businesswoman, wife, and mother. Women from Africa known for their strength and their ability to survive whatever comes our way. Do you believe a woman can have it all, or will there always be compromise in one of the roles they have to play?
Oh, that's a very good question. I do believe women can have it all. I think I wrote some stuff down some years ago. I don't know where it is, but yes, I believe women can have it all and should aim to have it all. See, when you say have it all, I don't think men ask themselves, can you have it all? And do you have to compromise in one area? Or everybody has all the same, what's it called? The same triangles in their circle. So you have spirituality, you have health, you have family, you have friendships, you have career, you have finances. So there's at least 6 areas in everybody's circle of life. You have to feed each area, try to feed each area equally. At any given moment, one might be out of balance, but your joy in that area might not necessarily be out of balance. If you're aware of it, you can only give attention and grow in any area of your life if you are aware of that area of your life. So that's what we call appreciation, gratitude, appreciating the blessings you have. And if you appreciate anything, as you know, it grows. So I believe women can have it all. We just have to learn how to be more aware of ourselves. And being more aware of yourselves will give you an idea of what you need in each area so that you can feed those areas. So yeah.
And there you heard it, guys, from Leslie from Cookie Skin. Amazing. Thank you, Leslie. This was such an amazing time to talk to you. We've loved listening to you and appreciate it. We appreciate you here at SWAA, and we look forward to hearing and seeing more about what you've mentioned. So I hope that anyone listening, if you do want to get in touch with Leslie, you can do so by contacting Cookie Skin. They're on Instagram. Is there anywhere else people?
Cookieskin.com. Instagram is @cookieskin. You can send us a DM or send us an email. It's info@cookieskin.com.
Fantastic. You guys heard it. So thank you, Leslie. Appreciate it. Lovely to see you again. And
likewise.
Bye. Bye.